Okay, welcome. This is going to be like an instructional clean along with me where I'm basically going to be cleaning around my home, and I will at the same time encourage you, maybe give you a bit of motivation to do some things around your home and just generally chat along with you. So make your way to the kitchen, and whatever you have in the way of dishes, I've got some things draining in the drying rack. Just start paying attention to some of that. Putting things away in drawers, clearing that draining rack, collecting up any crockery that's still lying around your house in places. Today my place isn't looking too bad actually. I just have stuff in the drainer. And I was pretty good clearing up after breakfast. You might also need to take some trips to your recycling, wherever you keep that in your house, depending on what you've got lying out. So just tend to what you need to. You might have some small bits to load into a dishwasher. And if that dishwasher's ready to run, pop a tablet in there and get cracking. And not everyone's going to have a dishwasher, obviously, so if you're a hand washing household, then maybe you need to run some water, get some hot soapy on the go, and tend to whatever dishwashing and kitchen tidying looks like in your home. And maybe you also could do just something nice for yourself while you're cleaning. I've currently got a candle out on my kitchen counter, and I'm just going to go ahead and light that for some vibes and also some aromatherapy, because I think this is like, let me give this a sniff. It's like a vanilla, smells vanilla-y. It's a Next candle I've got for Christmas, so let's light that up. And try not to drop it while I do that. I have a dishwasher and I have some bits to hand wash as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get some rubber G's on and some fairy liquid on the go to quickly wash a few things through. I haven't got a lot, so because we have a dishwasher, things I end up hand washing tend to be like, what have I got here today? I've got some recycling to rinse out. We are a milk-free home. We use like oat milk, almond milk, soya milk, so there's quite often every couple of days some cartons for me to rinse out. And what else do we sometimes hand wash? We sometimes hand wash some of our mugs. It's like, even if you have a dishwasher, not everything will go through the dishwasher. And I have one of those, like, I think it's like an enamel style mug, you would say. And I just don't get good vibes about putting that in the dishwasher, so that's on my hand wash list. And I've also got some silicone, they're like stretchy covers for like leftovers and that kind of thing that you can put over dishes, and I feel like the shape of them, because they're all like floppy, is not very conducive to going in the dishwasher, and I'm not really sure. I never read the instructions when we ordered those, so I'm like, I don't really want to take a risk and reduce them to a shriveled ball of plastic in a hot dishwasher. And then sometimes we just have random things to hand wash as well. Like today I had syrup in my porridge, and some of that syrup just dripped down all over the syrup carton, so that's in my pile of things to rinse before that can go back in the cupboard. So just scrub away. Today I'm using original fairy liquid and the Scrub Mommy. I love Scrub Mommy, they're so good. kind of prefer them to the Scrub Daddy, no disrespect. They're just really easy to work with, and I like how they keep their shape and they don't go as gross as some of the other brands that you can get. So I'm just working away with that. And keep tending to whatever you need to in your kitchen. If you finish your dishes, then you can always start to do a bit of a kitchen wipe down or something like that. What I normally do when I have cleared my dishes I want to wash by hand is, if I have a soapy sponge left over, which I do today, I will just go ahead and use the rest of that soapy sponge to do the sink clean. So I'm just working my way around there with the fairy and the Scrub Mommy. We do have a garbage disposal, which is quite unusual in the UK in our kitchen, but this is so British of us. Even though we have one, we've never actually used it because we're so conditioned to not using a garbage disposal. But if you do have a garbage disposal that you use, then you might want to also spend some time today cleaning that. I think that, God, not that I have any experience, but I think I've seen things online where people put things like lemon and ice down, and that seems to do the trick if you've got any bad smells coming from that. Okay, I'm just finishing up in my sink area, and I've got one of those intentional like custom stands for my Scrub Mommy just over my sink area, so that's where I'm putting my sponge back. And I keep, like, it's like an over the door hanger storagey type thing in my under sink cupboard, and in that I always have a kitchen cloth that's like relatively clean and fresh and ready for use, and that's where I keep my rubber gloves. I have some things on display in my kitchen, so like I don't put the fairy liquid away every time, and I've got some sponges and cleaning brushes and some hand soap, some hand lotion, and a cleaning spray that's currently out on the kitchen cabinet, on the kitchen counter, excuse me, so that I'll keep that there. But I don't like to see like cloths everywhere, and like rubber gloves as well, especially because they're quite a bright colour. I am going to take a look at my kitchen counter just to see if there's anything that needs wiping down. I think we're kind of okay this morning. I was pretty clean at breakfast time. So that's me done in my kitchen area. If you are not done in your kitchen area, no worries. Just because you hear me moving on, please do not feel like you need to stop what you're doing. Just keep up the good work. Next, I do actually have one more job in the kitchen. My wife recently bought me the Scrub Daddy, I don't know what the official name for is. It is, let me get, it's the damp duster, and I've seen these on like cleaning TikTok and things for a while, and they like obviously look good online, and like I know Scrub Daddy's a really amazing brand because I use the sponges, but my wife recently bought the sponge duster for me, and it's so good. It's that pink thing with the ridges. I say pink, maybe they come in different colours, I'm not too sure, but they really are good. So I'm just taking that now and I'm using it to dust the top of the hob. So that's another thing you can do, like if you have a hob that you know, like the fan area over your cooker, if you have something like that where it sticks out, or maybe there's a glass topper to it or something stainless steel that you might just need to tend to, just go ahead and do that now and tend to that. And these sponge dusters from Scrub Daddy, what's amazing about them is how well they capture the dirt in those ridges, how absorbent they are as well. It's crazy. We have really bad condensation issues in our apartment, and it's unbelievable how much this sponge picks up. Like it's truly like unbelievable. It probably, you know, in one of those like suction squeegees, an entire contents of what that suction squeegee could take in its little collection container, this sponge duster could absorb. They're amazing. They're so good. So I definitely recommend that. And I usually find that even though Scrub Daddy products might be a little bit more expensive than some other cheaper alternatives, I find that it really is worth it because they last for ages, and I like how they stay looking nice. So I've used that sponge duster from them several times, but it still looks brand new. It still has this really like perfect look to it, which is really nice. So that's me done in the kitchen. So I'm moving to my living area next, and you might want to go ahead to sort of a general living area or like a dining area if you have one. Lots of people live in open plan setups these days. But just take a look around you and see what needs tending to in that area. The first thing I'm going to do is open up my curtains and let some light in. And speaking of condensation, I'm just going to check the situation today, and yep, like most days, we have a bit of a condensation situation on our window. So I'm going to go ahead and get that sponge duster and absorb some of that water up. It's a bit of a pain, this condensation we have in our apartment. I swear there's something that's not very well designed about our window, because I've never lived in a place that has had such bad condensation. It's like pools of it most mornings. I can't wait for the weather to warm up where I won't have to do this as a daily task anymore, because it honestly eats into time. And because I have concerns about mould developing because of the condensation, I'm going to go ahead and open our windows. And you might just want to do that anyway. Like, opening windows is a nice thing to do as part of any clean, freshen up your space. So keep looking around your living areas. What needs picking up? Maybe you've got things on tables. Maybe you didn't clear up the coffee table from last night if you're watching a movie or something, and you were up late and just wanted to go straight to bed. Every house is different, so just keep doing what you need to. And maybe you're wiping your windows down too, so join in the fun. Lol. Maybe some of you have plants to water as well. I'm kind of just looking at mine thinking, are you okay? Hopefully. I'm not sure. Yeah, I feel like my plants need, yeah, I'm looking at them now. We've got like 7 plants in our living room, and I feel like they're looking like they need a little attention. So I'm just rinsing out that sponge duster again after clearing the condensation from my window, and next I'm going to get a watering can and mix up some plant food solution so we can tend to our lovely plants. So the plant food I have, I think I probably just got it from Home Base or something. It's the Baby Bio food. It's just like the standard original plant food, I think. And I just literally put a few drops into the bottom of the watering can and then fill up with cold water. That's all full up, and I'm just going to go and tend to some of these plants. There are certain plants in my house that are really good indicators of when I need to water the plants in general, because they go really wilted. You know how sometimes a basil, you know, if you bring it back from the supermarket or if it's been a bit dried out, it just doesn't really cope. There are some of my plants that are like that, and they're like my indicator for general plant life health in our home. We've got a mixture of plants as well, like we've got some very sort of leafy green ones, but we've got some aloe vera and more succulent style ones too. Peace lily. We have, I think it's called a cheese plant, which is pretty cool, and oh my goodness, it's really growing out of the pot. But dealing with that is a day for another day, a job for another day. So I have enough water in my can to move to other areas, so just gonna do that now, because we have plants in pretty much all of the rooms in our house. There's a big one in the dining area, and there's also a small one. Does anyone else have plants that you're still kind of watering, but you're not really sure if they're still alive? But there's a hint of greens, so let's go for it. And we have a really big plant. I'm not sure exactly what type of plant it is in our hallway area, but it's kind of almost palm-like with these big fronds for leaves, which is really beautiful. So that's my can empty now, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw out any last drops from the can in the sink and pop that back in our hall storage cupboard. So next, I'm going to tackle my dining area. So what's going on with us is there's some equipment that we have laid out here, which we kind of need to, it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not the kind of person who likes a super tidy home to the point it's inefficient. So for example, we have some tech kit out on our table, but I know at some point me and my wife need to tend to that, and she needs to show me how to work some things, and we need to go through it, and it's just not sensible for me to put that away. It would just be pointless, and I feel like it's current for us, so I don't want to package that away. But I'm also seeing a cap that's on the end of a chair that's my wife's that I can hang up, and I'm also seeing like an attempt at folding some laundry on the other side of the table, so that's what I'm going to tend to. I feel like, it's my personal opinion, when it comes to like keeping your home organized and everything, like it's still got to make sense, it's still got to be practical, you know. I'm not really for just being tidy for the sake of being tidy if it doesn't make sense to you, and everybody has different standards and different priorities when it comes to their home and cleanliness and tidiness and all of that. So kind of you do you. So I'm just heading to the bedroom with some bits of laundry and things. So what do we have here? Some of my wife's clothes first, which I'm just going to fold up, pop in her closet. We've got quite a nice hers and hers closet situation in our current apartment, which is really nice. There's quite a bit of storage. And now I'm just turning to put away some of my clothes here. I've got some pair of tights that's just come through the laundry, and I've also just spotted as well that some of those clothes were dirty and needed to be put in the laundry basket, so I'm just turning to that too. And there's some clothes I wore yesterday, but they're certainly not in need of going in the laundry just yet. Just a pair of joggers and a hoodie, so I'm going to fold those up and pop them back in my closet to wear another time. So how's it going for you? What's going on in your dining area? If you have a dining table, is it clear? Is there anything you're intentionally wanting to leave out? Maybe some of you are already thinking about the need for something like dusting if you feel like your space is looking a little bit coated. Or maybe some of you are still tending to plants, whatever's your priority for today. stick with it. I also noticed as part of the laundry hanging out on our dining table that there was a freshly laundered cleaning cloth, so that needs to go back to the kitchen where I keep them in a drawer. So I'm just popping that away now. So for me, I'm not going to dust in our dining area today. That looks pretty good to me. I've just noticed that my wife's towel's hanging up on a radiator in the corner, so I'm just going to take that into the shower room and hang that up for her in there. And we also have our Hoover charging in our dining space, but that looks fully charged now. So I'm going to unplug that from charging and put that in our hall storage cupboard. So this is just about the general pickup really. What clutter have you got going on in these spaces? I also kind of adjoin to our dining area. I have a bureau where I do tarot card reading, and it's where I journal and that kind of thing. So there's sometimes a bit of mess or a bit of recovery needed in my bureau space as well. And last night I was filming some tarot TikToks, so I am just going to take my phone stand down and close up that bureau for another time. Our living space isn't looking too bad today. Something I like to do is just tidy up all the controllers. So we watch our stuff through an Xbox, so we've quite often got an Xbox controller lying around with the cord attached, and then we've got the television remote. So just tidy those things up if you can. It'll make your space look a little clearer. And then I just like to do a little reorganise of cushions. So we've got some cushions that aren't feather that you can't really fluff up, but I try and make them look nice and presentable on the couch, and a couple of our cushions which are feather I do the judo chop method on to fluff them up and get them looking nice. I've also got a random hat that I can see on the couch, so I'm just going to take that back to the cloakroom area, pop that where it needs to go. And it looks like our coffee table needs an actual wipe down. Like, people are going to have different situations with their coffee table. If yours is a wipeable hard surface, like maybe if it's glass you need to get your vinegar spray. Maybe if it's ceramic or something, you can just go ahead and take your kitchen cleaner. We have a painted coffee table, but it has like a Melanex film over it, so it's all good for using kitchen cleaners. So I'm just going to take some product over and wipe down firstly a coaster that's been used. I'm just going to wipe that and tend to that, and then I'm just going to do a mini clean. I can see that my wife has left out her laptop and a book and a bit of paper she's been scribbling on. But I don't, when I'm cleaning and tidying, I don't just put everything away. Like, if I feel like I know where it goes and I feel like I know where she would want something and know where she would be able to find it, then I will, because that's helpful. But I don't do unhelpful cleaning and tidying. So that's her little stuff. She's left it there. It's not causing me a problem. So I'm just going to go and leave it there. Okay, coffee table wiped down. Hopefully you're making progress as we go. Just rinsing out my cloth. And next I'm going to pop my head in the bathroom. We've got two bathrooms. We have an ensuite and then like the main bathroom, which also does have a shower in it. I'm just going to put my head in there to see what the situation is today and if anything needs tending to. So I can see that we've run out of toilet roll and there's an empty toilet roll there. So gather up anything that's not in the right place in your bathroom. If any pieces of clothing have been left there that need to go into the laundry hamper, do that. Restock anything. Maybe today is the day you need a clean towel. Maybe you need to restock your hand soap. Maybe you need more toilet roll, like me. So keep going, just doing that general pickup and tending to any restocking needs. I'm going to take 4 rolls through, I think, into that bathroom. So I'm going to put one of those rolls ready to roll off the actual holder itself, and then I'm just going to stack the others as spares at the back. And I can see our bath mat needs picking up so it can air dry on the rail. And our hand towel I think I changed yesterday or the day before, so that's in pretty good nick. I am just look around. Sometimes what I'm doing when I'm cleaning, it's not like I will just come into the bathroom and then clean the entire bathroom. Like sometimes I do that, but sometimes it's just not needed. So I can see today that the sink and the mirror need a little wipe down, so I'm just going to do that. And as I'm saying that as well, it looks like the floor needs a little attention in here as well. So today it looks like it'll be sink, mirror, and we'll do a little floor situation as well. So what will I go in with? I think I'm going to use a spray for the sink and mirror. It's basically a spray bottle which I've made up my own cleaning solution out of washing up liquid and freshly boiled water. It's not hot anymore, but I put freshly boiled water when I make it because I feel like it's more sterile than using unboiled tap water, and that's a really great cleaning spray. So it's sometimes fun and nice to buy all of like the different brands of cleaners and all that, but you can get a really nice and effective cleaning spray just by mixing washing up liquid, dish soap with water, and it actually smells really good. So as I'm spraying this, I'm like, oh, actually, even though there's just a few drops of dish soap in there, this has a really good scent to it. I had to cut off the audio just there because my wife was back from her lunch break, so I was just spending that time with her, but we were in the process of doing a quick wipe down for whatever was needed in your main bathroom. For me today it was taking care of the mirror and the sink area, which had a few splashes on it, and I'm also going to take care of the bathroom floor in here as well because I can see some smudges. So the way I do my floors, or at least the way I'm going to do them today, is I'm going to hoover first so I can pick up any hairs. We have the G-Tech Hoover. I'm just going to run that round. I may or may not cut this out of the audio depending on how loud it is for you. And next I'm just going to get my mop bucket, and I have some Pink Stuff floor cleaner which I'm going to use for this job. I don't have a particular type of cleaner that I always use for floors. It just varies depending on what I feel inspired to use or inspired to buy. I do like a lot of the Pink Stuff products. The only one I've tried that I haven't liked is I don't like their cream cleaner because it leaves streaks. I much prefer Cif, but I think this floor cleaner smells pretty good. All of their stuff smells pretty good. It's got that like strawberry type scent, which is nice. So I'm just popping a good slosh of that into a mop bucket, and then I'm going to run some hot water and we'll get mopping. So for you in your home, like everybody has a different system for floor cleaning. Maybe you have, is it called like a Swiffer or something, or maybe you have one of those like spray mops, a flash mop, something like that. Maybe you need to tend to your equipment today as well. So if this is a day for you where your floor doesn't need cleaning and you're wondering what to do to fill in the time just now, maybe your equipment needs some maintenance. So maybe that mop head needs, or mop handle needs a little wipe down. Maybe you need to change the head. Maybe something needs to go through the washing machine. So whatever those tasks that are unique for you, go for it. And some of you may not even use mops to clean your bathroom floors. Like in reality, in some bathrooms, in some houses, it's small, especially if you live in the UK where we've got smaller houses, and you can just as well get on with like a floor wipe, or get on your hands and knees with a dustpan and brush and get scrubbing. I do quite like to use a dustpan and brush. I use them wet and dry for tasks around the house, so that could be quite a good trick to get in all of the grout, especially if you've got a tile floor. So all these methods work, and I'm using a mop today, but you know, there's some times when I just get on my hands and knees with a cloth or with that brush, and that's absolutely fine as well. So I'm just running around. Ooh, it does smell good. It does smell good. And as you're mopping, make sure you lift anything out of the way. I'm just lifting our little bathroom bin out of the way there so I can get behind, get any dust that's gathering. One thing I do try and do when I'm mopping is I do regularly rinse and wring out the mop. So I've just covered a few tile squares there and I'm just rinsing out again. I kind of feel like I want to make the most of having made up the mop solution and keep that mop head as clean as possible. And I'm paying particular attention to the area where I saw the smudges, which made me think I needed to clean the floor today. And I haven't checked the other bathroom yet, so I don't know whether the floor in there is also going to need mopping, but I'm going to leave this nice hot water with cleaning solution in rather than pouring it out, so I can use it in the other bathroom if needed when we get there. Okay, that's the floor mopped in that bathroom. It really doesn't take long, and I'm just wringing out the mop. So how are you doing? So we've gone through, we've had a quick kitchen pickup, we've had a dining area pickup, and we've had a coffee table living area pickup. I've just got to go back in because, like I said, we've had some lunch since I cut off the audio, so I'm just going to pick up some dishes that I've gathered there again. And I also, just in that quick break I took from the audio, unpacked a food shop, and it's left some marks on the kitchen counter, just, you know, like unpacking fruits and veg and things. So I'm just going to spray some kitchen spray on those surfaces and get my kitchen cloth out and wipe those down again. So we're generally trying to cover like whatever you consider your main bathroom, your dining area, and your living space in your kitchen. So we're going to be moving on from these areas soon. So do any last jobs that you can see, that you can think of. Tend to anything. Maybe some of you are wiping down window ledges today. Maybe some of you are dusting along the tops of paintings if you've got a lot of artwork in your space. Maybe some of you are packing away some hobby activities you've been working on, if that's practical for you. Everybody's house has different rhythms, different routines, so know yours and know what's going to work for you. Okay, so I'm just rinsing out my cloth. Okay, I've just noticed as well, some of you may want to check your radiators in the spaces we're working on, because I have just seen that I had hung up some waterproof trousers to dry yesterday. We had some crazy raining weather in Scotland, in Edinburgh where I'm based. And I'd come in absolutely soaking after a walk, and thank goodness I had gone out with my waterproof trousers, so they're nice and dry now. And I'm just packing those into, we have like a storage container underneath the hooks where we store our coats, so I'm just returning them there. There's a couple of little bits of laundry as well I'm going to put away that were lingering on the dining table, so I'm just tending to that, and then I'm very nearly done in my areas, guys, so hopefully you're getting on okay. And remember, the goal of this podcast is general motivation, so if you want to keep paying attention to some of those areas while I move on, that's fine, and I can just keep you company on the podcast. Or maybe, you know, today isn't about achieving everything, and it's just about using the time that we have on this podcast in that area to make a difference. So maybe for some of you today, the goal's not about doing everything, but just for this length of podcast, doing what you can in the areas we're working in. So whatever works for you. So I'm just restocking some of my underwear, hanging up a pinafore, and then I think I'll be good to move on to another space. Okay, so I'm just going to go back in those areas and just have a little look around just to make sure there's nothing I've missed. And there is. I can see I've just washed some curtains. My partner works night shifts, and when she's on those night shifts we use some special blackout curtains so she can get a good night's sleep. So I'm just going to grab those, return them to their basket. The reason I had to wash them, which might be something you need to pay attention to in your own home as well, is that with the condensation issues we have in our apartment, we have to be careful about moisture and mould and mildew around our window spaces, and I'd noticed that they had got a little bit damp and mildewy, so that's why I was washing them. Okay, so I'm looking around our living area and we're good in here, guys. I'm happy with that. My bureau space and the dining area is how I want it. The kitchen is under control, and our main bathroom and entranceway is under control and pretty much picked up. So I'm going to head into our bedroom next. I think that's the next area. And if you start off by picking up any bits that have been left lying around, so what I could see in my situation is my towel, which I didn't properly hang up this morning, which is going to go back in the ensuite. And there's a hot water bottle I have on the floor, which needs to be emptied out and put in the hall cupboard. Maybe you've got some laundry piled up in a corner that needs to go straight in the machine or into a hamper. Maybe you've got some things on the floor that you were kind of doing in your bedroom or using in your bedroom last night, and then you had to sort of pile them off your bed and onto the floor when you had to get into bed. But whatever you can find, pick that up and let's get sorted. I can see I've got If we tackle nightstands next, I can see there's a deodorant to put away that's been left on my nightstand. I can see there's 2 dishes and a mug on my partner's stand. So I'm just going to run those back into the kitchen. You know, maybe some of you take a glass of water to bed, or a particular water bottle that might need rinsing out and refreshing, or whatever that looks like to you. There's some packaging on my wife's stand, maybe like she's unpacked something, like a parcel or something. So I'm just going to pop that in the bin. And she has a little organizer on her bedside table, so if there's any loose bits and pieces, I usually just tidy them into there. And it is looking a little dusty, so I'm actually going to take a little wipe and just put that around her bedstand. So take a look at your nightstands. Perhaps for some of you, you've just got one to take care of, or maybe others of you are looking after a space for a partner. But just tend to those spaces, tend to those surfaces. Notice if there's any dust that needs removing. Perhaps there's some coffee cup stains, which would be good to tackle right now. And you can just use any kind of spray for that. Obviously be careful on like unfinished or uncoated surfaces, but you know, use your intuition and just give those spaces a bit of love. I find that nightstands can quite quickly get dusty. I think it's because it's the proximity to all the fibres maybe of like carpets we often have in our bedrooms, and fibres coming loose from bed sheets and bed covers and that kind of thing. What you also might want to do is, if you're being a little bit extra today and you're doing more detailed tasks, is I'm just noticing that on the bedside table my partner has some creams and lotions she uses, which I don't want to put away, but because they're out all the time they're actually gathering dust, so you may need to dust some individual items as you're going around as well. And I can also see that her organiser on her nightstand has some dust sitting at the bottom of it there as well. So I'm just, because I've seen it, I'm going to take care of that for her. Okay, next, assuming your bed is aired out, I want you to make your bed. If you've recently just got up and it feels like you need to give your mattress a bit of breathing time, then roll the covers back, crack a window open and air out those covers. I like to change out my pillowcases reasonably frequently because I have quite acne prone skin, mostly hormonal I think, but I think to a degree it would be good for me to keep my pillowcases as clean as possible. And I also use hair products. I use oils and things on my hair which might not be ideal coming into contact with my pillow and my face, so this is just a personal routine for me, but I'm putting fresh pillowcases on for myself. I have 2 pillows, and maybe for some of you, your sheets, you know, it's time that they went in and dryer if you've got a dryer, so maybe some of you will be using this time to strip your sheets and choose out some new bedding if you've got that, or clean bedding if you've got that fresh and ready to go. So prioritise what your needs are in terms of caring for your bed. So what I'm doing now is I've changed those pillowcases and I'm just making the covers. and pulling that straight. And we also have, in addition to our pillows, like a couple of decoration type cushions that go on the top of the bed as well. So once everything's made, I put those decoration pillows on the bed. And this is just a small little thing that I do, but like we're all going to have our little quirks around the house. My partner has like a stand clipped to her bedside table that she can clip her phone into, so she can watch things while she's in bed. And we have really long phone charger cords at the moment. It's just the style of charger that my wife decided to buy for us. They're actually really good because they're so long and flexible. And I just coil that up and hang it over the stand because I just feel like it's easier for her to grab then, and it looks a little neater. And then also if I was going to do a vacuum or something, it means I'm not vacuuming up wires. Okay, next, pay attention to any other surfaces that you have in your bedroom. So for me, that looks like a dressing table. So I can see that a coaster has come through that belongs in the lounge, so I'm just returning that. Just return any items you find on those additional surfaces to where they need to be. Perhaps you've left beauty products, grooming products out while you've been getting dressed this morning. Perhaps you need to put a mirror away. Perhaps your makeup brushes or your tweezers or nail clippers need to go to be washed. Perhaps you can use that time to wash them now. Okay, I think that for me, I need to get a duster around my dressing table because it's looking quite dusty in there. And actually, I'm going to try out for the first time the Sponge Daddy sponge duster. I've used it on windows before, but I haven't actually used it on things like we've got one of those sunrise alarm clocks. I'm just going to test it out. Oh my god, guys, it is amazing. This is legit so good. This is such a good product. Honestly, I'm not sponsored in any way. This is a really, really, really good tool. Some things are worth the hype. I think why it's so amazing is it picks up the dust in a way that traps it because of these ridges. It's so good. So I'm just dusting down our sunrise alarm clock and then dusting over any ledges and surfaces. This is like quite a traditional antique style dressing table, so I'm not using any spray products on this. I'm just wiping down the wood basically. And while I'm here, I'm just going to go and give the mirrors attached to the dressing table a little wipe as well, because why not? And they're looking a little dusty too. It's unbelievable what you actually end up picking up when you start cleaning. Even if you think, oh, should I bother dusting? It doesn't look that bad, and then you do and you're like, oh, that's actually so dirty. But that's okay because houses are lived in. So I'm just running the sponge duster over the top of the mirrors, which I can see are really caked in dust. So this is definitely a good shout for me to tend to this today. Okay, that's picked up a load of stuff, so I'm just going to go and rinse that. And so satisfying, all of the dirt, it just runs off and it doesn't even stain or damage the sponge. Genuine genius tool. It actually dries hard. It's like, you know, sometimes when you buy those sponge style cloths from the supermarket that dry hard, it's a bit like that, but it's not the same material. It's much softer and much more absorbent, and it's nicer than those sponges. So I'm just grabbing, I keep like a bucket of cleaning products, a caddy of cleaning products in the main bathroom, but I'm just pulling that through now into the ensuite because I think there's probably some cleaning needs in here. Let's have a look. Yes, there is. So hopefully you're getting on okay now in the bedroom and you've managed to tend to some things. And if you do have a second bathroom, an ensuite bathroom, then turn your attention in there. If not, you can keep working in the bedroom. So when you go in your bathroom, first of all, just take care of any clutter. So for me today, that's a face cloth that I used in the bath last night that I never wrang out. So that was sitting all scrunched up. And I have just unpacked a grocery haul, including some tampons and pads and things, and I've left the boxes for those strewn around the bathroom, so I'm just going to break those down and they're going to go in the recycling. We keep our recycling in the hall cupboard. We've got these, like, they're pretty good, like white IKEA style, no, not IKEA style, literally IKEA boxes to hold our recycling. And then when that gets full, we just take it downstairs to where there's like a big recycling room for our block of apartments. So I can see that my partner's left her hair product out, so I'm just going to pop that in the bathroom cabinet. And next I'm going to do a bath clean today because I had a bath last night. No, I didn't. I had a bath this morning and I used some really lovely like black volcanic sea salt bath salts, which were smelling and doing amazing things for my body, but they've left black marks around the bath, so I'm going to take care of that. And I think I'm going to go in with my general spray, which is diluted fairy liquid, and I'm going to scrub the tub with a sponge mommy. They have their spring editions out at the moment, so I've got the butterfly scrub mommy to do this job, which is cool. I love the seasonal designs that they do. I think it's really cute, and it's obviously really good marketing, but I think like good for them. We all need a sponge. So take a look in your shower. Maybe some of you have a bath, maybe some of you don't, but just take a look at the situation, what needs taking care of. Maybe some of you have issues with mould and mildew, or lime scale in your bathrooms, depending on the hardness of the water you experience. So just prioritise those particular jobs that are unique to your bathroom, and get in there with your lime scale remover. Maybe some of you are getting out some bleach to tackle a difficult mould spot, or maybe some of you are just cream cleanering your bathtub, and that's okay too. I think as I look around, I'm going to be getting my mould spray out after I've done this tub clean, because I can see some spots on the silicone mould which need taking care of, but I'm going to do the tub first. So that's all scrubbed down now. Hopefully you're getting on okay, scrubbing down what you need to, clearing what you need to. I'm just rinsing out my sponge mommy. I keep calling it sponge mommy, but it's scrub. Is it sponge mommy? I feel like I've talked so much I don't even know what makes sense anymore. Scrub daddy, sponge mommy? Scrub mommy. What's it called again? So I rinse out the bath with the shower head, because it's a 2-in-1 situation, not a standalone bath. Obviously, if you had a standalone bath that doesn't have a shower attachment to it, you might need to maybe get a bucket of water to rinse it out, or just get some really absorbent microfiber cloths or something that's going to help you with that. So that's looking good. I've definitely made a difference there. And I've dusted off some of the ledges of the bath as well, which were looking a bit dusty. I'm going to go back in with a mould spray. Let me just read out to you what I've got. I've got the Sillet Bang Power Cleaner Black Mould Remover, and you basically spray it on any troubled areas, which is the corner of the bath shower for me at the moment, and leave it for 5 minutes. So I'm just literally going to let it sit there. And what I might do is just go in with a little bit of a toothbrush as well, just to try and get it in any crevices. Make sure the product is thoroughly able to absorb. Toothbrushes for me are an essential part of a bathroom, or just any kind of cleaning kit. It's unbelievable how often I end up using toothbrushes for different tasks around the home. They are so useful, so useful. I can see as well that the sides of my bath shower also need a little bit of a wipe down, but I'm not going to do that until I've rinsed that mould solution off, because I want that to get to work undisturbed. My sink needs wiping down today, so I'm just going to remove any bits and pieces that have been lying around it, like the soap dish, and we've got a little caddy of things. And then I'm going to spray that down with, again, same solution, fairy liquid solution, and I'm going to use the Scrub Mummy. And some of you might also want to check out the state of your backdrop while you're cleaning around your sink area, if that's what you're working on today, just to see whether that needs any attention too. Maybe some of you also need to wipe down a mirror or pay particular attention, maybe get that toothbrush back out to go around your tap, because taps can conceal black mould, and you might want to get right in there to give it a really nice deep clean. And then just be rinsing out your sponges, rinsing out your cloths that you've used, and then allow for some reset time as well, just to get everything back in order. Pop your caddies back, pop your soap dish back. You may also need to clean out your soap dish, so I know it's soap, so you know it's technically clean. It's not like you're harbouring bacteria, but soap dishes do get like clogged up. That's what I find. So you sometimes need to scrub away at them and clear those up. I'm looking at mine right now and I think I'm going to do that. You especially have to do that if your soap dish is a different colour, a significant different colour to your soap. So at the moment I have a bright pink soap in a wooden soap dish. So it means that any of like the soapy residue that shows up bright pink against the dark wood. So that's definitely something I'm taking care of. And just keep plugging away. Perhaps you need to tend to a toilet clean today. Perhaps you need to get some gel soaking in there. Give that a minute to get to action before you get in there with the scrubber. And maybe for some of you who are listening to this, who are looking around at your bathroom thinking you're pretty ahead of the game, you can start tending to some of those deeper cleaning tasks, like why not go ahead and clear out, declutter and wipe down one of your bathroom cabinets. Maybe you can be restocking toilet rolls, so you've got a nice little supply ready to go there for the next few days. Maybe, and you know, you can be aesthetic in these videos as well, so it's not just about getting the basics done. Like maybe you want to make a new arrangement around your bath with some bath salts or bubble bath or a candle or crystals or something. I'm a really big believer in like finding the joy in the everyday things that we have to do, because let's face it, if we're going to have to do these things for the rest of our lives, we might as well make them fun. So that's kind of my philosophy. I'm just looking around now and I'm realising that we could do with a little bit of a floor clean in here today. So I'm just making way to be able to do that. And I've also got some clothes to fold up as well. So I need to fold up and put away my pajamas that I left in there this morning when I was getting ready. And I've got some knitwear to fold up and put away as well. And with all this cleaning of the bedroom and the bathroom, some of you may have developed quite a big laundry pile by now. So if you need to break away from what we're doing to pop a load of laundry on, certainly go and do that. Our routine with laundry at the moment is we will do a load of laundry when my wife comes in from work, because she washes her uniform when she gets in, and we usually try and do a full load with her uniform just to be economical, and then we'll hang that out this evening. So that's our laundry routine. But what I will try and do is have that loaded and ready to go, so that when she comes in, she just needs to pop her uniform in there and the tab's already in there, everything's all ready to go, so she doesn't have to run around the house picking up laundry. Okay, so like with the other bathroom, I am going to run the hoover around first. And then, if you remember, we left that mop water ready for the second bathroom, so I'm just going to bring that through, and the water should still be hot, and it should be nice and sanitary still to use through here. So how are you getting on? How's the pace feeling for you today? Hopefully you're able to keep up with some of the things. Don't worry if you're not keeping up with everything. This isn't about keeping up step by step exactly, although I do know some people like to work like that, and that's absolutely fine. The main goal of this cleaning podcast is that you use it in a way that's helpful to you, rather than using it as rather than it becoming something that stresses you out. It's all about what will help you. So like before, I'm really paying attention to rinsing that mop head out quite thoroughly as I'm going. I'm working patch by patch. Some of you who also have a small handheld hoover that can get in corners may also want to do that before you start any wet cleaning as well. I would normally do that, but we have recently broke our handheld G-Tech. It just kind of like made a really dodgy noise one day, and we think the motor's broken or something serious has happened with it, and we're not really in a position to be able to purchase anything or get that repaired at the moment. So I'm just stuck with doing what I can with what I've got, which is my moral for cleaning. Do what you can with what you've got. It's like you don't even need all of the cleaning products you think you might need. Like, you could clean your whole house top to bottom with fairy liquid if you needed to. But sometimes it's nice to have your favourite products, because it can be, it's almost like aromatherapy sometimes with some of the really nice smelling ones, and it can be motivational, and it can be like a nice sensory experience when you like the texture or the smell of certain products. So it's good for motivation as well. But you know, if you are working on a budget, just get some fairy liquid. And come to that, you could even use a bar of soap, you know. Bar of soap and a cloth and a sponge. Okay, so that is the floors done, and I'm going to go and empty this mop water. What I usually do is I will empty mop water down the toilet and then flush that down. I just work that way because we live in an apartment and I've not got like a drain right by my house or something that's close and convenient to pour away. And what I will do with my mop head is, the way I keep my mop head sanitary is, I'm not going to do it after this clean, but every few cleans, especially cleans where I've not used a bleach or a disinfectant, I will do a floor clean with a bleach and disinfectant, and then I know that my mop head is never getting too gross, because I know it's always going to have that regular sterilisation at some point. Okay, so we're really making progress by this point. Hopefully you are too. I'm just going to leave my floors to dry, and guys, I think we are there. So hopefully I've motivated some of you and helped you through your cleaning tasks today. Maybe some of you are so motivated that you're going to continue cleaning and you're going to work on some other areas or finish whatever you have got into while you've been listening. But I will see you in an episode soon, and yeah, happy cleaning.